Welcome to / back to Talking Swift. I'm Jess Rodolphe.
I'm Meggles.
And I'm Rubee Royal.
This episode was recorded April 15th, 2024.
Yes, and it's going to be a little bit of a chaotic episode. Rubee can't stay for the whole thing.
I'm going to do what I can.
Yep. But it's the week of the new album. Yay, it's here.
I can't believe we're at release week already.
I know.
It does not feel like it's been that long since she announced it.
It doesn't.
So have you been doing anything to prep for the new album?
Nope. Try and mentally prepare, basically, because I feel like it's going to be devastating.
Yes.
That's about it.
I've been listening to all her other albums. I'm like halfway through Fearless right now.
Wow.
That's a good idea. I don't have the time for that right now.
Yeah.
Oh, I'm doing it at work. When it's my turn to play on the speaker at work, I put on wherever I left off.
Love that.
I love that. We have quite a bit of news this week.
Oh yeah, she has kept us busy.
Yeah. We don't have like tons of news that doesn't relate to TTPDs. I figure we can breeze through the other news real quick and then continue into TTPD stuff. So, Taylor's music was added back to TikTok.
I did see that. Everyone is sus as to why or how, because I don't think what got it removed has been, like, reversed, you know?
Yeah.
Does that make sense? So people are wondering why, unless it's just promo for the album.
So the speculation is no other UMG artist is added back, but Taylor is the only one who owns her work.
Yep.
So people are wondering if it's because she owns the masters that she gave permission.
Mm-hmm.
Does she not fight for other artists to own their work too? Or is that not?
Did, but it doesn't become retroactive. It's new contracts only. If you had a contract already, it doesn't apply to you.
Oh, okay. I see what you mean. Okay.
Yeah, it doesn't like go back.
Doesn't
but like when
reverse
they go
all
to
the-
renew.
I see.
Yeah. In order for that to happen, they would have to do what she's doing and re-record their other work, which is why she's doing it. So this is the whole reason that she is making such a big deal about owning her previous work.
Fair. Okay, that makes sense. I was like, I thought other people did too, but okay, yeah. That makes sense. People were thinking it was just like their sort of promo for getting ready for Tortured Poets or something.
I mean, that might be why she chose Win to, do it, but still the fact that she can is because she owns it.
That was my thought too, that she chose to put it back this week to hype up.
Because then everyone's talking about Taylor again. Which, I mean, we were already, but let's be real.
Stop.
So apparently there was an honorary graduation for Travis and Jason. I'm not sure exactly, but
I think they were giving a commencement speech.
Kind of like what Taylor did?
Yeah, and then they were being honored, and yeah, they chugged a beer.
yes, and everyone was making a huge deal about it and shaming him for it, which I
That's
don't
so weird.
understand. Yeah.
I only saw funny, good things about that.
No.
I didn't see any hate towards
I
it.
saw
That's weird.
tons of hate for it. They were like,
Why? He's a grown-ass
so
man.
immature or whatever. He's a partier. He likes to have fun.
You're on a college campus. When are you ever going to get the chance to chug a beer on a college
Right.
campus after you've already graduated? Like, I just sort of like living out his frat boy dreams.
Yeah.
People are such buzzkills, honestly. They just don't want people to have fun.
So the other thing that happened on April 12th, I forgot to say when this was, but the other thing that happened was Robert Cavalli. I'm not sure if I'm saying that correctly, but Robert Cavalli died, and he was a designer, and he designed a lot of iconic looks, including Taylor tour looks.
He made the Reputation bodysuit. That's one of the iconic ones he did for the tour.
Yeah.
He did a couple other outfits for the tour, but I can't remember which ones.
For the Eras tour or for past tour? Okay.
Both.
The Reputation bodysuit for the Eras tour.
But he also did some iconic looks for some of her past tours as well. But his company wrote this post, "It is with great sadness that today we say our final goodbyes to our founder, Roberto Cavalli." I'm still not sure I'm pronouncing that correctly. I apologize. He was 83 years old. And then
Coachella.
So yeah, Taylor and Travis were spotted at Coachella.
I've been obsessed with all of the clips and videos. Her outfit is like so cute. I don't know why, but it's so like casual. Like it's not anything special, but it just looks so cute. And like the backwards hat. Are you kidding me?
Mm-hmm.
I love it.
I love it too.
Picture of her with the puppy.
Yeah.
Yes. So yeah, she's wearing Travis's New Heights podcast hat, which I guess is now sold out online, which is really funny.
Good job, Taylor. Yeah, there were many clips and pics, and they were really cute. They danced. She was picked up by him. Like, he lifted her up to see better.
I saw a video of her like singing along to Cruel Summer, and then like there was a remix drop or something, and her face like looked so confused but surprised and like what is going on all at the same time, and it was really funny.
There are a lot of clips and pictures of him holding her, and they're just so cute.
They are very adorable.
And they were like standing in the middle of a crowd, which is kind of crazy to see her standing in the middle of a huge crowd like that, you know?
Yeah, there's a VIP area because Sabrina Carpenter's boyfriend was in the VIP area and Taylor was just chilling in the crowd.
I mean, to be fair, her outfit was really low-key, so I feel like unless you really know what they look like, you might not have saw it was her right away, maybe?
Yeah, but everyone was filming. Everyone knew.
Yeah. Well, yeah, once they saw the outfit, it's like...
And people would see that other people are filming and they'd look at what they're filming. They're like, oh, what are they looking at? You know?
I mean, I'd feel pretty safe if Travis was behind me.
That's
Not
true.
gonna lie.
That's true.
Feel pretty safe. There's some big beefy man just towering over me.
Oh, there is this one clip where he was talking about his knees hurting or something, and she was concerned about him, and he was explaining that it was his football knees or something. I don't know exactly, but it was something like that.
Yeah, there was a post of him explaining because she thought it was because of her and like him picking her up or something, and he explained that it was just that he has like football knees.
Okay, yeah.
That's what I saw in the post anyway.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know if that's accurate because obviously I wasn't there, but that's what the post said.
And then Ice Spice performed and shouted out Taylor and performed her part of Karma. I know Rubee hates it, but it was a really nice shout out.
I don't know what it, I don't, okay, we're not going to go on this tangent. It doesn't, no, okay. Moving on.
I mean, I'm not a huge fan either. I don't really like it, but I don't know.
It feels so
hate is a strong word for me. I don't know.
Yeah, I don't know if hate is the right word. It just is not the version I prefer to listen to, and I don't know why, but it just sounds like there's something really off about it. Like, it sounds like she's edited in or something. Like, it doesn't sound...
Yeah.
Like, it flows with the song.
No,
I don't know.
I get that.
Anyway.
There was also a Saturday Night Live thing. Ryan Gosling and Emily Blunt performed a parody of All Too Well. It was a breakup with their 2023 blockbuster character, so Ken, and I don't know the character from Oppenheimer, but yeah, it was really funny. And Taylor has since added it to her story, so it got her approval. And she said, watch me accidentally catch myself singing this version on tour. This monologue is everything.
I haven't had a chance to listen to that performance.
You need to watch it because you would love it.
I know.
You love Barbie.
I've been
especially.
so busy, but I did really want to watch it.
Yeah.
I only got to see the first half. I couldn't watch after Emily Blunt joined him.
Is it the 10-minute version? Okay.
But yeah, it was really funny. And all the rest of the news is TTPD related. So.
Oh my god, there's so much.
Yeah.
Starting on April 8th, which is when the eclipse was.
So on her Instagram story, the day of the eclipse, she posted this short video of a typewriter typing out the words, "Crowd goes wild at her fingertips, half moonshine, full eclipse," and people are assuming these are lyrics to some song on the album, just because she likes to tease lyrics like that.
What are you guys thinking? Any initial thoughts?
I think it could be lyrics. It also makes me wonder if maybe it's something on the album itself that we haven't seen yet, like an inside cover art or something. She used to do things like that when she started, put secret messages in the booklet, so.
True, because it is a manuscript, like it opens like a book, right? So it could just be something in the book.
Could be.
I've also seen people speculating that each of the lines are from different songs. Like it's 3 different songs.
I've not seen that at all. So that's interesting.
So there's quite a few theories about these 3 lines.
So first of all, it makes people think of the part in the Eras tour where she's pointing at the crowd during the Lover set. Because of the crowd goes wild at her fingertips, a part before the man where she's all powerful. That part. And apparently there was a half moon at the Tampa shows, which the Tampa shows are the first shows that she played after the news of the breakup came out.
Florida, the song Florida.
Yeah, we're curious about Florida. And then also someone looked up and found out that Clairbeau moved to New York during an eclipse.
That is crazy.
People are crazy what they find.
Random.
How does everything line up for her so well? Is what I want to know.
Goodness.
But also,
I need to see inside her brain and see how much research she does before like posting anything. Because man,
oh my gosh,
my brain would not be able to keep track.
No, the Tampa shows was also when she changed the Tolerate It set to black and white. Before that, it was color, and the black and white, it's kind of like the TTPD color scheme. So it's curious. Half moonshine could be a drink. Someone pointed out, which was popular during Clairbeau's time or something.
Moonshine's just like a alcoholic beverage that's normally, I don't know the word, brewed, or I don't know the word for it, but made. It's normally stronger than what you can buy in stores.
Because most of it's not legal.
Yeah, basically.
Still,
it's like homemade alcohol.
Oh, okay.
Distilled.
It's really stronger.
Because you make it technically, you make a distillery usually out of a barrel and some tubs and stuff.
I didn't know that. That's interesting. Then the last eclipse was apparently the day before she wrote "You're Losing Me."
What?
Yeah.
How? Like, that's what I mean.
What?
Like, are people just making up, or like?
I don't know. I didn't fact check all this because it's too much, but
I know. But like, if this is all true, like, I don't. Is some of it a coincidence, or is all of it planned by her? Like,
when did she write
know,
"You're Losing Me"?
It was December 2021.
December 4th. There was a total solar eclipse.
Oh my god, that's true.
I just looked it up.
Oh my god, Taylor.
Oh Lord.
All right. Well, that was
because it says that "You're Losing Me" was recorded on December 5th.
Yep.
2021. Do you think that's actually the day that she wrote it, or do you think she told Jack to tell people that's when she wrote it so that it would line up with the eclipse?
I have no
never
idea.
know.
But yeah, that was April 8th, and then April 10th.
We had one day of peace.
Right.
Taylor Nation posted that they were unsealing the Tortured Poets files for one last chance to pre-order the special edition vinyls, deluxe CDs, and cassettes. Someone did mention it's interesting that they said for one last chance to pre-order, meaning like maybe with the wording like they could come back again. But obviously that's up for debate.
Yeah.
And they were available for 48 hours or while supplies last. And I don't think they lasted very long. But it caused a lot of discourse because now people had to try and cancel a bunch of pre-existing orders for when they dropped separately so that they would only have to pay for shipping once if they ordered all of them again now. And a lot of people are being refused to cancel their orders because they're suddenly already being processed. So I think a lot of people are going to have resale on theirs because I don't think a lot of people were able to cancel the orders, so now they're going to have like doubles of everything. So if you missed out, there's probably going to be lots of opportunity to get another one. Or to get one.
I have an issue with pre-sales selling out because isn't the purpose of a pre-sale to see what the demand is to make?
That's what I would think.
Yeah.
Like, how can you tell me it's not even, like, it's not made yet?
You're not pre-selling it, you're selling it and shipping it on a different day.
Yeah.
Getting off my soapbox. I had to get that off my chest.
No, I've also had beef with pre-sale stuff because most of the time when you use the word pre-sale, it's because you're selling it before the product is made yet to see how much of the product you need to make, and then you cut that off and then you make the amount that you pre-saled for. Not there's already a specific amount that exists and we're just
selling out.
They're just selling it before the album is out, so they're just selling it in advance. Like it's not
you're reserving it at that point.
Yeah.
Yeah. It is kind of weird.
I have a lot of beef with UMG, so I fought with UMG for months, so I have a lot of beef with them. But
I was able to get the Albatross, which was the one I was missing, so
that's good. I ordered all four.
No, I have all 4 coming.
But I ordered all 4 together when they did that drop again on the 10th, and then I also had previously ordered a couple of them, so I'm probably going to have some for resale because from the sounds of it, UMG is not going to cancel, so...
I did not cave.
Good for you.
Yeah,
good for you.
I have the vinyl for the manuscript and the CD for the Black Dog. I held strong.
Good. I just honestly wanted the patches were really cool, and I really wanted them.
I just wanted all of them, okay?
And the bookmarks.
I wasn't gonna cave, but then Rubee was like, I want them so bad, and then that made me realize, oh yeah, I want them so bad too.
I gave you FOMO, I'm sorry.
Rubee's an enabler is what I've discovered from
I am an enabler.
The last month of these variants coming out.
To be fair though, it's because I'm a newer Swiftie and I don't really have a lot of her merch yet, so this is my opportunity to buy some like cool merch.
That's kind of like me too, because I like even though
that's my justification.
Even though I've been a Swiftie for a long time, I don't have that much of her merch or anything really. I have the 1989 pictures, but that's all I have.
And now I've started making a designated spot for all of my Taylor merch, so now it needs to be filled up. I made a whole space for it, right? Just girl math. Swiftie math.
But yeah, then on April 11th, oh yeah, we got the track link on Spotify.
Yeah, Spotify desktop is what I heard. So I think the longest one is But Daddy, I Love Him with 5 minutes and 40 seconds. From the majority are like 4 minutes or longer, which is amazing. I wish more artists had longer songs because I get really annoyed when people have like 2.5 minute songs and I'm like, I was just getting into it.
It's interesting that But Daddy, I Love Him is the longest because I Can Fix Him, No Really I Can is the shortest.
Yeah. It is interesting. So yeah, everyone's really interested in those 2 songs, and specifically because of the length. But apparently You're Losing Me and LOML are the same length.
I'm going to go look right now.
Yeah, see if the picture is accurate. But someone took a picture of it.
437.
Yep. So that's interesting.
What could it mean?
Yeah, what could it mean? And apparently Lover and TTPD are also the same length. But I saw different theories proving this wrong, so I'm not sure. They're around the same length though. But I don't know if they're exactly the same.
Which song?
No, the album.
No, like the albums, Lover and Torture Post Superman collectively.
Yeah.
Well, Lover is 1 hour and 1 minute, and the Tortured Poets Department does not have it added up yet.
Yeah, I think.
See, I think someone added it up, and it was like 1 hour and 5 minutes. I think is what I saw
that was
somewhere.
Close.
I thought I saw 2 minutes, 1 hour and 2 minutes, but I don't know. So I know it is
maybe
it's
2 and 5
close to that for sure. So people are finding that interesting that Lover and Tortured Poets is similar length, and they're probably focused on the same person. Oh yeah, so personally, does this change which songs you guys are most excited for, knowing the length?
A bit. It makes me more excited for But Daddy I Love Him, because that one piqued my interest before, and knowing it's the longest one on the album is very intriguing.
I'm a little sad Florida is not longer. It's only like 3 minutes and 35 seconds, but that's the one I'm still most excited for because I love Florida.
Some people are pretty excited for I Can Fix Him, No Really I Can, because they're relating it to Now That We Don't Talk, because the lengths are similar.
You want to know my only problem with Now That We Don't Talk is that it's too short.
Yeah. But
I really wish it was longer because I love that song, but it's so short.
They're thinking it might be like the same kind of vibe or something. I mean, maybe.
Also really excited for The Smallest Man Who Ever Lived, because knowing it's 4 minutes is just amazing. I was already super excited for that song, and to know that's going to be a really good 4 minutes is just chef's kiss. I'm so excited. I'm excited that most of these songs are like a good length.
Yeah.
Like, there's not a lot of short ones.
Yeah, me too. And then there were lots of other connections that people found, but there were so many I couldn't go back and find all of them, because some of them I forgot to put in our Discord, so then I didn't save it for later.
I actually have a bit of news from the 12th. So Taylor Nation basically confirmed what LOML means, unless they're trying to throw us off, because they posted an Instagram posting the LOML's brand new album drops 1 week from today. So people were like, oh, that kind of confirms that it's Love of My Life.
Yeah.
Unless they're trying to make us think that to throw us off.
Yeah, they could be.
I just want to throw that in there. Because a lot of the comments are like, did they just confirm that it's Love of My Life? And everyone's freaking out in the comments. And it kind of blew up. So just wanted to throw that in there.
I didn't see that at all.
It may have got drowned out by all of the other news.
Maybe. But yeah, then April 13th, let's see, Taylor Nation posted a video, and happy 13th of April with a white heart emoji and a pen emoji. Portrait Poets Department photos hand-signed by our chairman are now available with the manuscript edition, vinyl and CD. So there were signed CDs and vinyls.
For the manuscript.
Yeah, just for the manuscript.
And they sold out before the West Coast even woke up.
Yeah.
I was going to say, a lot of people had beef with UMG over this whole thing, because they say one product per customer, but they didn't specify if that meant one CD and one vinyl, so a lot of people bought one of each, and now they're having their order like canceled or like half refunded, stuff like that. I swear to God, Canada got like nothing. There was like so little, it sold out in like a couple minutes after it dropped. Not even. And then I know a lot of, like, I think there was a couple of the other international stores that didn't even get any on theirs at all.
And then the West Coast was still asleep. So we missed out because of that.
But people are hoping and praying that she's going to be dropping signed for each of the variants. But they were thinking that was going to happen like the past couple days to follow like every day at a certain time sort of theme. And that hasn't happened. No. So now there's theories of whether or not that's actually going to be a thing if she drops more signed of the other variants.
I kind of wanted one, especially since the manuscript that I have coming is just the basic one. Anyway, so I would have liked to have a special version of that, but oh well, I missed out because it was gone when I woke up.
Canada got it like an hour late or something, so I was like, oh, I guess Canada's not getting any, and then didn't bother looking again, and then I saw that it did for not even a minute or something and sold out. So people were like, how many did they give us? Like 5?
Well, because by then, like, the resellers and stuff were already aware that it was probably going to happen, so
yeah,
that's kind of the issue with that.
Yep. And they're already up all over eBay.
Yep, for hundreds.
So if anybody sees those, you can report them, because I don't think eBay allows you to sell, like, pre-sale items that you don't physically have. And that they're price gouging. So I've seen a lot of people going and, like, mass reporting all the eBay posts if y'all have any free time and, want to be.
With that post, I think there was a new border spotted for the Tortured Poets.
Kind of like a floral decal, like a little decorative thing, and then it spans out to be kind of like a corner piece.
Yeah, it's the border.
For the border. We'll have all the pictures and stuff that we talk about in our Discord, so you can look at it later.
This is why you join our Discord, so that you can follow along. So in the Apple Music bio, there's a word a day till the Taylor Swift 13 album drops with the eyes emoji. And Taylor Nation posted a cryptic story of the Tortured Poets department with a glitch.
And it tagged Apple Music with like a magnifying glass emoji.
And so that's when we first got the hidden word thing. So they're in the Apple Music playlist. This was the 13th, was when it first showed up. And the first one was it in Glitch?
It was in Glitch, yeah. Some people are speculating that we actually got the first letter, which was I, on that typewriter, where the 13 looked like an I and then a 3. So people are saying that could be like, I hereby conduct. Sorry, I'm skipping ahead. Yeah, I've seen a lot of theories that that's why the one looked so weird in that one video where it had like the bottom and the top straight lines, is that it was an I, and that maybe that was the first word.
Maybe. But yeah, so it was in Glitch, which is in
the I Love You, It's Ruining My Life playlist.
Yeah, so that was day one, and it was hereby. People at first were confused, though, and they thought it was Higher, because that's
Hayer or something.
Georgia Higher. That's how you say her name, I think. My mom loves that author, so I know who it is.
It's just spelled like hair, like 2 E's.
But they thought it was her, but they missed the B.
Because it was confirmed by Taylor Nation to be hereby.
Yeah.
Just in case there's any discrepancies.
Yeah. Which makes sense.
100% an I.
Right? You're right? It looks like
I'm
an
looking
I.
at it. It's an I. It's not mistyped. It's an I.
So that's why people are thinking that that's like the first thing for this statement. So hereby definition is as a result of this document or utterance. So people found that very interesting.
Then the next day, we got the second word on Apple Music, which was conduct, hidden in the lyrics of the song Peace, which is on the Am I Allowed to Cry playlist. It's conduct, which the definition is to organize and perform a particular activity. And so it's hereby conduct, which seems a lot like courtroom speak, kind of. And based on what she put out previously about enter into evidence, people are saying it's starting to sound like she's presenting this like a case in a courtroom type of thing.
Which I love, because I've been rewatching How to Get Away with Murder, which is all about law school and stuff.
Also, it's a play on the word trials. The relationship could have been a trial on her, and now we are going to trial. And she likes to do those play on words. I was thinking about that.
So since she did one from I Love You, It's Ruining My Life, and then Am I Allowed to Cry, and then, spoiler alert, today she did from, now I'm blanking on the playlist, the anger one. You don't get to tell me about sad. We're wondering that she's probably going through the different stages of grief playlist in order. But yeah, there was more that happened yesterday though, so we need to back up a little bit. There were more possible lyrics revealed yesterday.
So Taylor posted this picture of her looking through the clear vinyl with her eye and like half her face poking through, and she said, "I wish I could unrecall how we almost had it all," in quotation marks. And then to pre-order the Phantom clear vinyl from Target with the link. So people are thinking that the part in quotations could also be possible lyrics.
Yeah.
Which is a devastating line. I just have to say. So if that is lyrics, this album is going to destroy all of us. Can't wait.
Yep.
I can't even guess, like, really what song that could possibly be from.
It could be from so many of them.
Yeah, with, like, all the things that people have tried to theorize and dissect from the titles of the tracks, like, I have no idea.
Sorry, I might have to kick my cat out. She is being a menace. But with that post, she's wearing like this sweater that's really dark colored. It could be black. It could just be dark colored because it has like black and white coloring anyway. But some people are pointing out that it looks kind of like the Taylor in the commercial. Is it Capital One commercial?
It was the Capital One commercial for the Eras tour.
They're speculating that Taylor was an Easter. Ow! Sorry, I'm getting attacked. Ow! An Easter egg for the Tortured Poets Society. Jojo, you scratched.
Tortured Poets Department. Meggles!
Jojo, would you please stop it? Go away.
Meggles, it is not the Tortured Poets Society.
I'm sorry. I'm sorry. I'm very distracted right now because I'm trying to focus, but I'm also being attacked at the same time.
You have to leave that in. That's so funny. Okay, so you said you think it's an Easter egg for the Tortured Poets Department.
Yes.
Oh, because in the commercial, there's the 10 airs in the elevator, and then the commercial cuts to the Taylor in the sweater with the smirk.
Yeah, I think so.
So they're in the sweater with the girl taking the selfie, and then it pans to a bartender pouring a glass of white wine, and Taylor is ordering it, and it's a different Taylor than any of the ones we've seen, and it kind of looks like she has a little braid in her hair tucked behind her ear, but it's a very Tortured Poets Department kind of greenish jacket, kind of like one of the variant colors we've gotten, and she's doing a smirk that we all know. We know what the damn smirk means.
Yeah, some people were commenting under that, and they were like, no, that's the Midnight's Taylor, but to me, it doesn't really give Midnight's vibes. And there's one in the elevator that definitely gives Midnight's vibes.
I was gonna say, but Midnight's was in the elevator.
Exactly.
Yeah, if there's 10 airs in the elevator, like it's said to have had, there's no way it could be.
Yeah.
It does give Tortured Poets out of all the other eras.
Yep.
Like, there's no other era that would really fit.
Okay, and then today we woke up with chaos. So there was this hidden countdown on Taylor Swift's Instagram profile. You had to go to her profile and then kind of like refresh.
So you kind of drag it down to refresh, and then it kind of gives you a vertical banner of the title, The Tortured Poets Department. The words are vertically stacked, and then it's just like a black background with white letters, so it just looks like a vertical banner, sort of.
Yeah, thank you, Rubee. And so then after, it shows for just like a split second, and then it goes to this countdown. The countdown to the album release. But then it also says, the Tortured Poets Department is almost here. Celebrate the new album by joining the conversation on Threads. And there's a link to open Threads. Except Taylor Swift is still not on Threads. So when you click on the link, it says...
Yeah, it says Taylor Swift isn't on Threads yet, but you can follow them in advance so you're connected when they join.
And then there was also a Spotify message for Spotify users that do not have Apple Music. Because we've been feeling very let out. But the message was, hey Spotify, happy release week of Tortured Poets Department album. Make sure to pre-save the album and keep checking back for more updates from the department.
And it's a black and white video, and I think it's a typewriter that she's got sitting in front of her.
Yeah, that's a typewriter.
And then there was an update to the store that allows users to log into their account, see all their orders, and request returns.
People are wondering if Taylor had something to do with this, because we've been having so many problems with the store, and maybe she wants it to be better before dropping merch. Which, if that is what happened, thank you, Taylor. We appreciate it.
Yeah. It was nice to be able to see that all my orders are there and they're all being processed for shipment. It does feel nice instead of just leaving it up to like Well, I hope that it was a long time ago that I ordered that, so I hope they actually are putting it through or whatever, I don't know. It just felt nice to see.
I would like to add, though, the Canadian store doesn't have a
have it.
login, and I'm really annoyed about it.
Yeah. Do you know about any?
I want to be able to log in.
I have a feeling the other international stores don't have it either.
The only time it ever lets me log in is when I'm buying something.
Mm-hmm. I did realize that I have to go to I have to click on the shop in order to be able to see the login icon. Yeah.
The hell? I logged in and I can see they did a tax breakdown. What the hell? This is absurd. One of my taxes was 9 cents.
9 cents?
I got charged 9 cents. Two of them are 9 cents.
What? That's so weird. Very random.
And for this word of the day today, there was a glitch, and conduct apparently was seen hidden in Death by a Thousand Cuts, and then later disappeared. And then this was, like the word this, was revealed in Better Than Revenge, which is on the anger playlist, like Meggles said.
Yeah. So the actual word of the day was this, so it's hereby conduct this, which people are speculating she's going to say hereby conduct this meeting or something like that, something along the lines of that.
And, Taylor Nation did kind of confirm that the I is supposed to be in front, because they did retweet someone who posted, I hereby conduct this. So it's very interesting.
Yeah. But it is really strange that conduct was found in Death by a Thousand Cuts first.
Yeah. I did see screenshots of it, so it was a thing.
So weird.
People have screenshots on Twitter. I actively online was seeing people confused why it was conduct twice.
Yeah.
And people were trying to figure it out, and then all of a sudden someone noticed that Better Than Revenge also had it. I watched that in real time. It happened. It was really weird. So Spotify is hosting a Spotify library installation in LA on April 16th, 17th, and 18th from 10 a.m. till 9 p.m. at the Grove in Los Angeles. It's a first come, first served basis. Access is not guaranteed. Early access will not be granted, and fans will not be received prior to the live hours. And then it says, please note the artist will not be in attendance. Spotify reserves the right to refuse admission at its sole discretion, basically. So it's to celebrate the new album from Taylor. I don't really know what a library installation means. I'm not sure. I'm assuming it's supposed to be kind of like sort of a pop-up, kind of like what Olivia Rodrigo had with the different picture background stuff, maybe. I don't know. But it just happens to also be the same day as National Librarian Day, so a lot of people were sus about that. And then Taylor Nation retweeted somebody who was suspicious of the National Librarian Day thing, and Taylor Nation said, considering this, you should probably be there. So that's interesting. People are speculating that this also might have something to do with how people think she's writing a book, that she may be announcing the book there, but it does say she's not going to be there, so I don't exactly know.
I also don't think she would announce a book while promoting the album. I think that would be after the album.
I just saw people talking about that because she's got the typewriter in All Too Well and she's writing a book, so people thought that this would be because it's in a library and it's National Librarian Day that she was gonna announce a book or something. I'll be interested to see what it is because I don't really know what library installation means. It's very vague, but yeah, so weird. If you go to this, people in LA, please post lots of pictures. We want to see all about it and know what's up with it and what the heck a library installation is, so we want to see all the pictures.
That'll be interesting to see. But the other thing that happened was we got to see the writers listed for all the songs. So
is this actually real, confirmed?
Yeah, I think I saw it somewhere else as well, and it was more confirmation.
Oh boy.
Yeah.
I noticed Taylor is the only writer for My Boy Breaks His Favorite Toys, and Who's Afraid of Little Old Me, and usually when it's just her, the song devastates me. So, oh no.
Yep. And then there's a lot of Jack Antonoff and Aaron Dessner. So people were noticing that a lot. Any other thoughts on that?
This album's gonna wreck me. That's all I know.
I'm gonna head out.
Okay. Before you head out, any last thoughts on TTPD?
I still have no idea what genre this is gonna be, but I love Post Malone, so I know that I'm gonna love their song because I'm so excited she's finally doing a collab with him. I'm really excited to hear My Boy Only Breaks His Favorite Toys, but Daddy, I love him. I can fix him, no really I can. The Smallest Man Who Ever Lived, y'all know I'm so excited for that one. And I'm excited to get my variants in the mail so I can listen to them because I don't know if she's going to be releasing those any earlier than when we get them on the albums and stuff. It'll be interesting to see if she does.
Mm-hmm.
It'd be nice because I don't know how quickly they're going to get all these orders shipped out in a timely manner. So I really hope she streams them. And yeah, I think that's all I got right now.
Yay!
And I'm excited to see if she puts out any merch because I would love some more merch that's not albums. I have so many of the variants already. I don't need more. I need merch.
It'll be exciting to see what merch there is for this album. I'm sure there's going to be merch. I'm also interested in the music videos too.
True, the music videos are going to be interesting. I wonder if she'll film one in the sepia or like that filter.
I'm curious to see if one will come out the same day because that's what happened with Midnights, isn't it?
Yep. It'll be exciting to see what happens. But all right, Rubee, we'll talk to you later.
I'll see you guys in the next episode.
Bye, Rubee.
Bye.
Then there's also this cryptic QR code thing that happened in Chicago. Did you see anything about this, Jess?
No, what?
So they were hand painting this QR code today on a building in Chicago, and a bunch of fans were waiting for them to finish it. Like they were standing outside waiting while they painted it. And then when they were done painting it, they scanned the QR code. It took them to this short video. It's just a silent clip. We will have the link to the actual video in our Discord, but it's just a silent clip of typing out error 321 and then the I. So that's what the QR code was to.
All I can think of is these poor painters.
I know.
I would not want to be them with everybody staring, because if you F that up.
I know. Oh my god, it's a QR code too. It has to be perfect. Oh my god.
I'm looking at a zoomed in picture of it. It's made up of TPD.
Oh yeah, that's what someone said. Yeah. Yeah.
That's insane.
I know. So we got another error, 321.
This time no red herring.
Which that's what we got right before the announcement of TTPD.
Yeah, but last time it said red herring.
Very curious. Why an error?
Is she already anticipating crashing Apple? I mean, crashing Spotify.
Oh, I'm so nervous.
So excited.
I'm both. Oh, the QR code isn't actually done, and the YouTube link is the 321.
The QR code's like half painted. You can see the rest of it, but it's not painted. It's like grayed out.
Interesting.
I'm trying to scan it on my phone, but I don't think it's going to work from a picture.
And then the last bit of news is that indie record stores have begun receiving promotional display stands for Taylor Swift's Tortured Poets Department. Yay! Exciting.
That's good for them.
Yeah.
Because I know it'll definitely help give them a boost.
Mm-hmm. Well, that is the last bit of news. And then our topic is TTPD. So we get to go even deeper in.
Oh boy.
Yeah, I'm very excited. This is the week.
Does it come out? Because I'm thinking 1989 and Speak Now Taylor's version both came out at 9 p.m. Pacific time.
Yeah.
Does that mean Tortured Poets will come out at 9 p.m.?
Yep.
Oh, good.
So that means we actually have an advantage this time instead of waking up too late.
Oh, good.
Yeah.
I get to stay up to try and listen to it before I go to bed because I go to bed at like 9:30.
Yep. So it'll be exciting. So we get to listen to it Thursday. So this is the stuff that we know so far, that we've learned in the last couple of months. The vinyl opens like a manuscript. Taylor Nation posted about it, and that's really cool.
Oh, yeah, it does. I'm looking at it. It looks like a book.
Mm-hmm. And they said something like, isn't it cool that it opens like an actual manuscript or something like that? So
So subtle.
Taylor Nation has been so chaotic lately. And then the 5 stages of grief theory. Most likely she saw the theory and loved the idea and decided to play along. Because I think I saw somewhere where she said that, but I'm not sure. So she wasn't necessarily planning that already, but it's cool that it still works with her album.
Yeah.
And it's very clever that she came up with the playlist idea and all that, especially if she wasn't planning it all along. The fact that she just pulled that out within the last couple months. But I know that a lot of people, when she did that, then a lot of us were like, oh, then that means the theory was right. But it wasn't necessarily true because she took notice. She liked the theory well enough to play along, which is it's one of the things that makes her so cool is that she like interacts with us in that way and she pays attention to us.
Well, she's a fan of things too, so she definitely she likes probably having her own theories about things she likes. So she likes to see what we think about her.
But that theory was really popular, so it got a lot of attention. The track lengths, now we know those.
We talked about that.
Yeah. The explicit tracks are expected to be the Tortured Poets Department, Down Bad, But Daddy I Love Him, LOML, Florida, I Can Do It With a Broken Heart, and The Smallest Man Who Ever Lived, which is very interesting that those are the explicit tracks. Especially The Smallest Man Who Ever Lived. I find that really interesting.
Gonna be something, alright.
And then also someone noticed that the Tortured Poets Department is in all caps.
That's what I was actually looking at. I was looking through her other songs to see if there was any other that did it. No, the Tortured Poets Department is capitalized like a normal word.
But the album.
Oh.
The album is on all caps.
I wasn't looking at the album titles. I was looking at the song titles. Oops.
That's the problem with having a title track.
I misunderstood what I was looking at. Hang on.
No.
I'm gonna go back and look. I know Reputation is in all lowercase.
Yeah, and so is Folklore.
Interesting. Yeah.
Folklore and Evermore are also in lowercase, but people are thinking she hasn't done an all capital one before.
No, she hasn't.
Yeah, so that's interesting.
It's
nice
like parallel.
Screaming. It's screaming at him.
I was thinking it parallels how Reputation is all lowercase.
Yeah, that's true. It's like another bookend.
Yep.
When we did our last TTPD episode, not all of the bonus tracks were released yet. So we have a little bit more on each of the bonus tracks, especially the Albatross. So the Albatross, what did you think when she first announced it? Do you remember?
I thought it was interesting. I wasn't really sure what an albatross was until like we started discussing it. But yeah, I thought it was just an interesting name.
Yeah, I thought it was a bird, but I wasn't entirely sure of the specific bird.
It's like a black and white kind of crane looking bird.
Yeah, but apparently it has a lot of different meanings, like all of these. These are all very complex terms, so they can go many different ways. But the albatross means something that causes persistent deep concern or anxiety.
All birds cause me anxiety.
Oh, something that greatly hinders accomplishment, a burden, which kind of makes me think of, how she was kind of pushing herself down a little bit. Someone that causes you great problems you cannot escape, or they prevent you from doing what you want to do.
oh, if this is about Joe, it's gonna be devastating. So he better hope it's about Scooter.
Someone who stops you from doing what you want or even forces you to hide from the spotlight when it's looking for you and cause you to hide yourself.
Oh no.
And then someone looked up what it means to call someone an albatross. If you describe something or someone as an albatross around your neck, you mean that they cause you great problems from which you cannot escape, or they prevent you from doing what you want to do. Yeah.
Oh no. Oh no.
And when I first heard the word, I think I was just like, eh. Because by then, I was already really excited for the manuscript mainly. That's the one I was most excited for of the bonus so far. And so I was just like, eh, the name didn't really stick out to me. But it has so much meaning.
Oh, it's gonna be bad.
It's sometimes used metaphorically to mean a psychological burden that feels like a curse.
Oh no. Oh no. Oh no.
Hey everyone, let's take a quick break here just to remind you that if you're enjoying the episode, please give us a rating. It also helps a lot if you share the episode. Alright, now let's get back. And apparently the albatross bird can fly for 13 straight months.
Taylor, are you God? Did you design this bird to fly this specific amount of time you needed? What?
And then there's this really detailed one. Okay, so Taylor, you're crazy. Okay, that's all I'm gonna say, Taylor. You are crazy and the mastermind. And how do you do this?
Oh no.
She sang Coney Island after announcing the albatross, so it must be connected, right? Guess what happened in Coney Island in 1903?
Clara Bow performed. No?
No. A fire that was started by one of the Albatross Hotel employees because of unrequited love at the west end of the Bowery.
Oh my god.
The heck? Just a couple months after nearby Luna Park had wrapped up its inaugural season.
As a New Yorker, let me explain. Luna Park is where the cyclone is and like the rides. That's what Luna Park is.
Oh, okay. So that's like the Coney Island.
Yes,
Park?
the Broadwalk area.
Oh, okay. Thank you.
That's where I was like, wait, let me provide a little context. That
I've heard of Coney Island, the theme park area, but I didn't know
the cyclone and the Wonder Wheel and all of that is in Luna Park.
Oh, okay. So after nearby Luna Park had wrapped up its inaugural season, one of the worst fires in Coney Island's history consumed over 260 buildings.
Holy cow.
It began in the Albatross Hotel at the west end of the Bowery.
I was just thinking, the West End is also Broadway in the UK.
That's true.
I was thinking that's a very London kind of thing.
Oh my god, that's true. It was carried by the wind eastward to Jones Walk. It was prevented from going further by a brick wall. Every structure in the Bowery was destroyed, and almost every building between Surf Avenue and the beach was burned. The fire is said to have been set by a former employee of the Albatross Hotel because of unrequited love for a female employee who preferred the attentions of the hotel's owner.
Damn.
Crazy connections.
I have a crazy connection with that too.
You do? What?
So when I was in New York last month, there was a stabbing in the bar around the corner from me because the guy came in to kill his ex-girlfriend.
What?
Yeah. So I'm like, that's weird timing, man.
Wow. And then also someone pointed out that 1903, when added together, equals 13.
Of course it does.
And that's the year of the fire. What the
Taylor? You need to stop time traveling.
Another thing about the albatross is their wingspan is 11 feet across, which is...
I know where this is going. Oh my God.
Yes. So the albatross is an exceedingly large seabird. having a wingspan as much as 11 feet across. It is a magnificent glider capable of staying aloft for hours at a time without flapping its wings, and tends to remain almost entirely at sea, typically coming ashore only to breed. And apparently, while albatross are socially monogamous, the truth is that they get around when no one else is watching. To us, this may sound like cheating, but in the world of science, it's known as extra pair copulation.
I get. Oh. This gonna be bad.
Okay. Oh, yeah. This one was so long. I had to write down everything because it was a crazy connection. Okay. So the picture, her pose in front of the water, albatross cover. The picture made someone think of the song The Lakes from Folklore.
I could see that, yeah.
Which references Wordsmith, which is based in the Lakes District in the UK. But Wordsmith also references William Wordsmith, who is a poet in a circle of poets called the Lake Poets, who lived in the English Lake District. But one of those poets, Samuel Taylor Coleridge, wrote a poem called The Rime of the Ancient Mariner, which is about an albatross. It tells the story of a sailor who shoots a friendly albatross, cursing himself and his crew. As punishment, he is forced to wear the bird around its neck, making the albatross a symbol of his burden and regret.
Oh my god.
And then also, someone noticed that the similarity of her gown and gloves are kind of the coloring of an albatross bird.
Yeah, I could see that. Actually, that picture that we were looking at of this albatross, look at the little speckled pattern on its wing. That kind of looks a little bit like, kind of like the edge of the, like, not exactly, but it reminds me of it a bit.
Yeah, I could see that. Yeah, that's the albatross bonus track.
Oh no.
So the bolter, I remember when it first was announced, there were a lot of people referenced when Joe dragged her to the car. They called that the bolter. And then also people referenced it to some kind of rabbit or hare or forget.
That's interesting. My first thought when I heard the bolter was actually Runaway Bride.
Yeah, which actually is the definition. Kind of. It's very close. So to clarify, the bolter is a word applied to a woman who, despite the duty expected of her in a marriage, decides to leave regardless of the scandal that may ensue, and is particularly used with regard to the upper classes in Britain. Yeah, so apparently that's the technical term. That's one of the definitions of what a bolter is.
I mean, also, her dress for the Grammys gave very, like, scorned bride kind of vibes.
Yeah. Wow, okay. When I looked up bolter symbolism, I got a bunch of pictures of this type of gun. So apparently it's a gun.
Oh, it's gonna kill somebody, alright.
I had not seen that at all.
Oh, this is gonna be another bridge that takes someone out.
There's a book called The Bolter.
Oh, is there?
Which I feel like I saw that around Twitter as well at some point.
By Frances Osborne. The story of Adina Sackville, who ran away to become the chief seductress of Kenya's scandalous Happy Valley sect. In an age of bolters, women who broke the rules and fled their marriages, Adina Sackville was the most celebrated of them all. Relentless affairs, wild sex parties, and brazen flaunting of convention shocked high society, inspired countless writers and artists, from Nancy Mitford to Greta Garbo, but Adina's compelling charm masked the pain of betrayal and heartbreak. I think this is a biography. I think this is a real story.
Huh.
Sounds interesting. I might read this. Oh, yeah, it's a biography. Oh, good for her.
Okay, so I think that the bolter symbol of the rabbit is actually on the file. That's how people found it.
I don't see a rabbit. Am I blind? Where are y'all seeing a rabbit?
I just posted a picture of what I was looking at.
Oh, yeah, I see it. Bunny.
That's where people are getting the rabbit symbol. They're thinking that those look like the legs.
Yeah, I could see it.
So yeah, so maybe. But those are the only things we have on the filter, so.
For now.
For now, yeah. So the black dog.
This is the one I'm most excited for.
When I first heard this, it was, I don't know what I thought.
It's interesting that such a cat person has a song called The Black Dog before she has a cat title. Black dog has a bunch of different meanings. Like, one is referring to feelings of depression, great sadness, lack of energy. There is also a grim in certain ways of reading things. Usually a black canine is depicted with Hades or with the Grim Reaper. So it'll be interesting.
So apparently the metaphor can represent the gradual overtaking of enjoyable activities you once loved. The person you once recognized in the mirror, or the life you once lived. The metaphor represents how depression does not take breaks, but may feel like a following shadow.
Oh, that's eerie.
It is pretty dark. And her pose for that one, too, looks pretty dark.
Yeah, looks like she's going through a lot of mental anguish. Yeah, we don't really know much about that other than that.
It's a lot of people's favorite variant. A lot of people like it the most.
I did.
I personally can't decide between that and the manuscript. I like both of them a lot.
I like the idea of a white vinyl. That was why I really wanted the manuscript vinyl. But yeah, I think the black dog just looked interesting to me. Plus, I like the symbolism of it.
Yeah. Okay, and then the manuscript,
which was our first one.
And we've said this before. It means a book, a document, or piece of music written by hand rather than typed out or printed. But it could also mean an author's text that has not yet been published.
Yeah. I mean, we know she diaries, and that's where a lot of her songs came from. Like we saw in Miss Americana, her notebooks. So it'll be interesting to know what else she wrote down.
But then someone else put this out. What if the manuscript is about wedding vow drafts that Taylor started writing but threw away or burned when she realized that Joe didn't want to marry her? Personally, I think that's a little far-fetched, but...
Yeah, just a little.
And then we have some Easter eggs that people have found. Someone pointed this out, that the lyrics in Dear Reader are clues for each of the bonus tracks, which is very interesting. So, Dear Reader, if it feels like a trap, you're already in one. The albatross, because they cause great problems from which you cannot escape, so trap. Get out your map, pick somewhere and just run. The bolter. Burn all the files, desert all your past lives. The manuscript. That one's pretty obvious. Why?
Yeah.
And if you don't recognize yourself, that means you did it right. The black dog, because of the depression being so far in that you don't recognize yourself.
What's interesting to me is, so like, the black dog's the one I'm most looking forward to, also because I've talked in the past about like, depression and all that. And that's actually my favorite line in Dear Reader.
Oh, really?
Yeah, and if you don't recognize yourself, that means you did it right. I was like, oh my gosh, dang. Just dang. Feel called out.
Yep. And then someone pointed this out, that the Lover album was like his portrait from Tolerate It.
Oh.
I use my best colors for your portrait, right?
And she has like a rainbow in that picture.
Yeah, she has a lot of colors. It's all about color. And then TTPD is discolored.
And it's a similar kind of pose.
Yeah, and so it's kind of like, I used all my best colors for your portrait, and now I don't have any color left. Or something like that.
Of gray.
Something like that, yeah.
The depression of it. Black and white world. Oh, this album's gonna be devastating.
I know. And then someone pointed out the Midnight's Pose and Clarabow.
Oh my goodness.
They're very similar.
Yeah, even with flowers around.
It's
a different kind of flower, but...
And then in the All Too Well short film, it goes through the different stages of a relationship, and then ends with Taylor becoming a writer. Someone said that that's interesting, that was for All Too Well, the short film, and then 3 years later we have an album written about the 5 stages of heartbreak and poetry.
Yeah, I don't know what she has going on in her head, but I can't wait to see how this all plays out.
I know.
Like, we can speculate about so many things, but only Taylor and tree, and probably like a few close people know what's actually going to happen, and they're just watching a spiral with a little hamster running on the wheel, and they're like,
I know. I bet they're having a lot of fun being like, just you wait. Just you wait. You think you know.
we know nothing. We are Jon Snow.
And then 22 days before April 19th is when we got the Spotify countdown. And then 11 days after the Spotify countdown was April 8th, which was the eclipse.
Oh my god.
Which we did get something on the eclipse day about an eclipse. We got the maybe lyrics, maybe insert something. And then someone else pointed out, and they said they think the two fingers might actually mean like the middle finger.
Oh.
To Joe, because it's apparently a British thing. The two-fingered salute, or backwards victory, or V sign, made with the middle and index fingers, is said to have originated with English archers in 1415. Medieval researcher and longbow expert Clive claims in his book, so it is claimed to be true, I think, by this historian. And someone did comment on this video saying, I've been trying to say this, my dad's British. So that makes me think that it might be a well-known thing in Britain. I'm not sure. I've never heard it before. I've heard of the biting your thumb thing because of Shakespeare, but I've never heard of this one before. But
I only know the Italian ways to flip someone off. I don't know any British ones.
So some people think that the two fingers might not actually be two. It might be like signaling at Joe. Which would be so unhinged.
F you!
Oh my god. I'm not sure I believe that one.
I don't know if I believe that one either, but it's funny.
It might mean that, but I'm not sure that Taylor means that. Oh my god. And then the other thing, this is crazy. So did you see this picture of Joe?
That's Joe?
That's Joe.
Did he have plastic surgery? Why does it not look anything like him? Okay, wait. I should also clarify. I'm face blind a little. Like, I don't recognize a lot of actors. Christian Bale has been in so many movies, I can't tell you what the man looks like. Paladin makes fun of me. He has to tell me if it's Christian Bale.
This picture, he's pretty faded and stuff. It's a faded picture. But yeah, that's Joe Alwyn. People are saying it looks just like her albatross pose, which is, it does look a lot like it.
Yeah.
But that's for his movie, The Last Letter from Your Lover. That's what that movie is called, that he was in.
Scandalous.
So that's interesting.
Oh, man.
And then there's this Bejeweled Easter egg in the Bejeweled music video, which is, it's crazy that people zoomed in enough to be able to see this. How do people think? I don't know. But anyway, there's a wheel and spool of thread. I think it's like a mantle. It's on a mantle in the Bejeweled music video.
Oh, I think I do remember seeing that.
But someone's saying that they think it's an Easter egg for TTPD because of Rumpelstiltskin, because Rumpelstiltskin is the most notable alchemist, but also a very small man.
I'm looking at where it's framed. I'll screenshot it to put in the thing. It's the spinning wheel right when the Heim sisters run in. Because I remember seeing a spinning wheel because I was like, oh, Sleeping Beauty.
Yeah.
But maybe it's not Sleeping Beauty. Maybe it is Rumpelstiltskin.
Rumpelstiltskin, yeah.
I was thinking, oh, she's Cinderella, but like the nod to like other classic fairy tales. But Rumpelstiltskin is also a classic fairy tale.
Yep.
I didn't think about that. I knew I had seen it. I just couldn't remember where I saw it.
But someone's saying that it could be pointing to Rumpelstiltskin because everyone thought the girl was an idiot, but in the end she fooled everyone and got to keep her life and her baby and be queen, you know?
Yep. I would like to apologize now to the Heim sisters for this photo. I'm so sorry. This freeze frame did use dirty. I'm so sorry. I don't know which one of them looks worse.
Oh my god.
I'm sorry. Oh no.
He He's the most notable alchemist because, for those who don't know, he turns, is it like straw or something, into gold?
Yeah, he turns hay into gold.
Hay into gold, yeah.
And he does it for her. She gives him things in exchange. He turns the straw into gold so that the prince would believe her. And
Yep.
on the last day, the third time he does it, he makes her promise her firstborn child. And the only way out of giving him the firstborn child is if she can figure out his name. In the end, she figures it out, keeps her baby, the prince is happy.
I think in the beginning, her dad goes and brags to the king that she can turn hay into gold or whatever. And then he's like, okay, if she can do that, she can marry my son or something like that. But if she can't, then she has to die or something.
Yeah,
something
death
drastic.
is on the line.
Yep. So apparently Sylvia Plath has a collection of poetry named Ariel.
Oh.
And she was called the Tortured Poet.
Yeah.
And then there's also all the Little Mermaid references. There's the But Daddy, I Love Him. And then there's also in the Bejeweled music video, she's grabbing the shell necklace thing. Some think that she's becoming Ursula in the Bejeweled music video. Some think she's Ariel taking back her voice.
That's what I got from it, because the moment Ariel touches it is when she's pulling it off Ursula to claim her voice back.
Yeah.
Interesting.
That's another nod to Ariel.
And she dressed up like Ariel for Halloween one year.
Yep, she did. And that was like a few years ago, right? Something.
I don't remember when. It wasn't that long ago, I know.
Okay, and then there's the date importance of April 19th. There are so many reasons this date's important. We've already talked about the unfollowing, the great unfollowing of Joe, and then we talked about, isn't it National Poetry Day or something? It's quite a few different national days, I think. But then that date is also when Joe Alwyn says he doesn't plan on continuing to write songs with Taylor Swift. April 19th, 2022, which is the same day that Allison, the actress that he was in conversations with friends with, that's when she posted this pose with Joe. On that same day that in another thing he said he didn't plan on continuing to write songs with Taylor Swift.
And she uses a white heart.
Yep, and that's true, yes. And Allison used the white heart. So it's very interesting. I feel like that's an important day.
Yeah.
And then we have the playlist.
We've talked a little bit about these, but we didn't really go too in depth.
Yeah. So the I Love You, It's Ruining My Life, which is Denial. This is what she said. This is a list of songs about getting so caught up in the idea of something that you have a hard time seeing the red flag, possibly resulting in moments of denial and maybe a little bit of delusion. And I think that for these playlists, the order is important too, because it's interesting that it starts with Lavender Haze.
It's going backwards through her discography, but then it loops back around.
Yeah, it randomly has Bejeweled at the end.
I noticed that about all of them, that they're going backwards from Midnights through the other albums, like in order, that the reverse order that they came out, but this one has Bejeweled at the end.
So it's Lavender Haze, Snow on the Beach, Sweet Nothing, Glitch, Betty, Willow, Cruel Summer, Lover, Miss Americana and the Heartbreak Prince, False God, Style, Wildest Dreams, Treacherous, Untouchable, That's When, Ours, Superman, and Bejeweled.
So I'm not gonna lie, I've also been looking to see if the letters spell out anything, and I couldn't figure anything out, but I haven't had the brain power. If anybody else thinks that, please let me know. Don't put anything past her.
Yeah.
I was like trying to look at all the capital letters, like, oh.
But yeah, I'm not surprised to see Ours and Superman.
Yeah.
Those ones, like, yep, that's kind of what we talked about a little bit in our Speak Now episode.
I'm still so upset about Superman.
I know you feel upset about Lover.
Yeah.
How do you feel about it now that it's been like over a week?
Still don't think I can play it at the wedding.
No, but it's a sweet song.
I don't know. I think I need more time. Right now, I still just think about it being a song about longing and not actually being together.
Oh. Some of it really makes sense. Like, we can leave the
Yeah.
Christmas lights up till January. That's a couple thing. That's like a very couple thing, you know?
Yeah.
And let our friends crash in the living room because it's our place.
Yeah, I think I just need some more time.
And then I know you love Miss Americana and the Heartbreak Prince too. So I want to know your thoughts.
I want to point out, most of my favorite songs are on this list.
No!
Willow, Miss
Oh
Americana
my
and the Heartbreak
god.
Prince, Wildest Dreams, Superman, Bejeweled. I'm like, why? Why?
Well, Bejeweled is pretty obvious, though.
I know, but
It's
I'm just like, why are so many of the songs I like on denial?
Bejeweled is like in denial, but almost out of denial.
Yeah, maybe that's why it's at
know?
the end.
You're
'Cause
getting
you're
to the
moving on to the
point.
next stage.
Yeah, you're getting to the point where you're fed up with it more, but you're like 1 foot out the door, but not quite there yet. It's interesting that Betty's there. I've seen some other people say this, that it's interesting that Betty's there.
Yeah, because that song's supposed to be an apology, but I guess it's also he's in denial that she's gonna forgive him, maybe. Maybe she won't forgive him.
Maybe.
Maybe he's in
But
denial, thinking that.
I always thought that Taylor really made it very clear that they end up back together and that he was foolish. Those are the words she used in her Long Pond session. She said he was very foolish and
I
that
have
they
to watch
ended up
those.
together. I'm wondering if maybe she was in denial that they should end up together.
Yeah.
It's very interesting. Maybe she's realizing that that's not the best apology and
Shouldn't forgive him for that.
he doesn't deserve her. And yeah, maybe that's the realization.
Yeah, because it's supposed to be sweet, but I'm like, I laid next to her, but I thought of you all summer long. I'm like, then why were you next to her?
I know. I mean, I love that song, but
No,
yeah,
I do too,
you
but
do
I'm just
think
like,
about it.
that's
And then
not a great
when you think
reason.
about him being like in front of all your stupid friends, like that's
dude.
not the best way to. I'm only 17. What do I know? That's not a good excuse.
Not how to apologize, that's for sure.
Oh my god. And then False God, I'm not surprised about at all either, because that makes sense for that song. It really does.
Sweet Nothing makes sense on there.
Yeah, all the Midnights ones we kind of discussed, but those make sense.
Willow hurts me.
Oh yeah, Willow. And then
This just hurts me. So many of my favorite songs.
It is very interesting. But the Take My Hand, Wreck My Plans, that always has stood out to me though. Why do you want him to wreck your plans? That's the one line that really, when I first heard this song, that kind of bothered me.
I can understand it from a romantic set because Paladin kind of wrecked my plans. I never planned to get married. I never planned to have kids and stuff. And now like me and him are getting married and we're talking about kids and like wrecked all of the plans I had for my life.
Yeah.
I moved to California. That wasn't in my plan.
No, I can get it from that perspective.
Yeah.
But in some ways, it could be negative. You know, it could be taken either way. It just depends.
All the lover songs on there. This hurts me. Next playlist.
You don't get to tell me about sad. So, Anger.
So Taylor said, these songs all have one thing in common. I wrote them while feeling ... anger. Over the years, I've learned that anger can manifest itself in a lot of different ways, but the healthiest way it can manifest itself in my life is when I can write a song about it. And so we got Vigilante, High Infidelity, Woulda, Coulda, Shoulda, Exile, Illicit Affairs, not the angry version, the angry version's of the Eras Tour version, Mad Woman, Tolerate It, Bad Blood, Is It Over Now, I Knew You Were Trouble, We're Never Ever Getting Back Together, The Last Time, The Moment I Knew, Babe, I Bet You Think About Me, Dear John, Better Than Revenge, Tell Me Why, You're Not Sorry, Forever and Always, and Mr. Perfectly Fine. I'm just going to say right off the bat, I'm not surprised Vigilante is on here. I'm not surprised woulda, coulda, shouldas on here.
Yeah.
Illicit affairs. It should be the Eras Tour version because man, that is angry. Tolerate it. I just want to point out all her like most popular songs, like Bad Blood, I Knew You Were Trouble, We're Never Getting Back Together, on this album, on this playlist.
Yeah.
I'd be more surprised if Dear John wasn't on this.
Oh yeah.
Where's All Too Well 10-minute version? That should be on there too. Because it enrages me. Where's the man?
But yeah, apparently she wrote them all while feeling angry. That's what she said.
I would believe it.
Exile? She wrote that with Joe. She wrote Exile with Joe. And it was their first song they wrote together.
She wrote Sweet Nothings with Joe too. I was just thinking about that. I was like, oh.
But it's so weird.
Was that really the first song they wrote together? I thought they wrote another song together.
No, because Joe was thinking around on the piano and she liked the melody.
Oh.
He wrote the melody, the first little
okay.
bit. I think the how it starts, you know?
Yeah, I can't think of how it starts right now.
That's why I think it was the first one they wrote together, because that's how they started to write some of the songs together, because she realized he was playing around and she liked it.
Oh yeah, playing around, all right.
I don't understand. Tolerate it, yeah.
Yeah.
That's an angry song.
This is the playlist I'm least surprised by.
Yeah, same, I think.
They're pretty self-explanatory.
Yeah, the last time, yeah, I could see it as angry. Like I said, High Infidelity was one of the ones that surprised me, because I'm like, it just doesn't sound angry to me, but...
It's a quiet sort of anger.
Yeah.
I mean, she does say it can manifest in different ways, so...
Yeah, that's true. That is true. Okay. Am I allowed to cry? Bargaining.
This playlist takes you through the songs I have written when I was in the bargaining stage. Times when you're trying to make deals with yourself or someone that you care about. You're trying to make things better. You're oftentimes feeling really desperate because oftentimes we have gut intuition that tells us things are not gonna go the way that we hope, which makes us more desperate, which makes us bargain more.
Ugh.
And so it is The Great War, This Is Me Trying, Peace, The Archer, Cornelia Street, Death by a Thousand Cuts, Soon You'll Get Better, Afterglow, I Wish You Would, Say Don't Go, Come Back, Be Here, Better Man, The Story of Us, Haunted, Come In With the Rain, The Other Side of the Door, If This Was a Movie, and Renegade.
Renegade is randomly at the bottom.
Yeah.
And
Well,
didn't
it's not
Renegade... Yeah, but didn't it come out, though, between Evermore and Midnight?
Was
I
it
feel
that
like
way?
it came out at some point between that.
I
So
thought it
that's
was
weird
oh,
that it's at the
21,
bottom.
yeah.
I don't know that song very well. But
I
know there's lore behind it.
But my goodness. Some of these songs I'm not really surprised are on here. I mean, The Archer.
Afterglow. I'm not surprised at all about Afterglow.
This Is Me Trying, obviously. Come Back, Be Here.
And The Great War, I could totally see.
Yeah.
It's crazy that she just went ahead and put Peace on here.
I'm not surprised.
That's what it is. But it's like stating it obviously, like to us. Yep, I was bargaining to keep Joe. That's kind of blatantly what that's saying to us by putting it on this playlist, you know?
Yeah.
Because she was very clear what this song was about. She told us what it was about.
Old Habits Die Screaming. So this one's Depression, where we're going to be exploring the feelings of depression that often lace their way through my songs. In times like these, I'll write a song because I feel lonely or hopeless. And writing a song feels like the only way to process that intensity of an emotion. And while these things are really, really hard to go through, I often feel like when I'm either listening to songs or writing songs that deal with this intensity of loss and hopelessness, usually that's in the phase where I'm close to getting past that feeling. And this is Bigger Than the Whole Sky, Dear Reader, Maroon, You're Losing Me, My Tears Ricochet, Epiphany, Hoax, Champagne Problems, Coney Island, Right Where You Left Me, Nothing New, All Too Well, specifically the 10-minute version, Forever Winter, We Were Happy, Last Kiss, Castles Crumbling, Carolina, and White Horse. And Carolina is in between Speak Now and Fearless, even though it came out in the Midnight Era.
So weird. Why is Carolina down there?
This is another one. I'm not really surprised by the songs on it. They're
most
pretty
of them, yeah.
Story.
Hoax surprises me a little bit. just because I wouldn't have thought of it. Because that one's kind of unclear.
Probably making it clear now.
Yeah. Oh, man. And then Coney Island. It's really interesting that she put Carolina on here.
Depression, I listened to it and it's very kind of a sad song.
Yeah, but why put it on anyway? Like, at all, you know?
Yeah.
Because she didn't list all of her songs.
She only listed the songs she owns.
I know,
Well,
but
although
she
she
didn't.
doesn't own Renegade because she recorded that with somebody else.
She didn't even list all the songs she owned, though, is what I'm saying.
Yeah.
She picked very specifically.
That's why I think there's a message hidden in them, in the titles.
It's interesting.
No one with more brain power than me. Figure it out. I have one brain cell and my cat is borrowing it. I can do it with a broken heart. Acceptance. We finally find acceptance and can start moving forward from loss or heartbreak. These songs represent making room for more good in your life, making that choice. Because a lot of time, when we lose things, we gain things too. And it's You're on Your Own, Kid, Midnight Rain, Labyrinth, The One, August, Invisible String, Happiness, Long Story Short, Closure, Evermore, It's Time to Go, I Forgot That You Existed, Daylight, This Love, Clean, Now That We Don't Talk, Begin Again, Innocent, and Breathe.
It's interesting that there aren't that many of her older songs on this playlist.
Yeah, it's like she started going through acceptance much later on in the relationship.
Yeah, because there's just like
her younger self spent more time angry, upset, and bargaining and in denial than current Taylor.
You're on Your Own, Kid, obviously. It's not surprising because it's like kind of accepting that you can do it yourself, you know. I feel like Invisible String is on here because it's accepting that you were in my life for a reason.
Yeah.
But that we're not meant to be together. That's how I feel about that. Because someone asked me about that.
Yeah, I can see that.
Because it's very interesting that she put Invisible String on here. Because it is definitely one that's very about Joe. But I think that that's why she put that one. Same with Daylight. Because that one also is about Joe.
I forgot that you existed.
That one, that's pretty obvious why that one is acceptance.
Yeah.
The Labyrinth one was the one that was confusing to me, but
yeah,
I guess it could be like accepting that I might get heartbroken again, but I'm not going to let it stop me type of thing.
This won't be the end.
Yeah. And then the fact that she didn't pick any Reputation songs because she only picked ones that she owns is very interesting as well. Because where would she have put any of the Reputation ones?
Yeah, I'm curious if this will get updated at all after.
Oh, that's possible. It is also interesting that she didn't pick every single song either. So it's like very specific. It's funny that ours, Superman, Dear John, and What If Could Have are all on there. Oh yeah, and the story bus you said was about him too.
Yeah, Haunted.
So all of the John Mayer songs are on these playlists.
And some Joe Jonas songs. Mr. Perfectly Fine.
And of course some Jake.
Better Than Revenge.
It's interesting that Back to December isn't on this playlist at all, is it?
No. I think it's because that one's looking at a relationship after it's over and being sad about it, not trying to get over it.
Yeah, because it doesn't really fit in acceptance, I guess.
Yeah.
But this definitely makes me wonder about this upcoming album.
Yeah, I can't wait for it.
I know. It is interesting because she used I Love You, It's Ruining My Life for Denial, which that's the manuscript. And then You Don't Get to Tell Me About Sad, it's the Anger, and that's for the Bolter. Right? That was the Bolter. Yeah, that was the Bolter. And then Am I Allowed to Cry is the Bargaining, and that was the Albatross. And then The Old Habits Die Screaming is Depression, and that's the Black Dog. And then since she only had 4 variants, she decided to use a track title, I Can Do It With a Broken Heart, for Acceptance. I forget what picture she used for that one, though. I think it was another one from the Bolter. I feel like it was another one from the Bolter.
Again.
So that kind of gives us a little bit hint of what that song might be about.
Yeah.
Which it kind of...
It's the picture of her laying down with her arm.
I'm pretty sure that's the bolter. That's an interesting picture to use for acceptance. That doesn't really feel...
Yeah. Oh, okay. It's the picture she used for I Can Do It With a Broken Heart is the bolter.
It's weird.
I'm so excited.
I know. Are there any songs that you think are going to be singles? Do you have any guesses?
Probably Tortured Poets Department. If I had to guess, that one's usually safe to say. I don't know about any of the others, but that's the only one I think is a safe bet.
I don't know. I have no idea. They all sound cool.
Yeah, I'm so excited.
So someone posted, apparently Post Malone posted a black and white photo, which people are speculating that might mean that Fortnite will be a single. I don't know, it's just something. I don't know about any of the others. I don't know, they all kind of sound like they could be. That's the problem.
Yeah, that was my thinking too, because I was like, this one could be, so I guess we're just gonna have to see.
I guess so. Okay, so what tracks are you looking forward to most?
Florida. Florence and the Machine. I just can't wait for it.
Are you going to listen to it in order, or are you going to go straight to Florida?
I'm going to listen in order.
Good. I think that's the best way to go.
Yeah, that's what I usually do, and then I'll go back and I'll listen to the one I end up liking, but I try to go in order.
I'm still really excited for So Long London.
Oh my god, I forgot about that one.
Also, that's a track 5, and those are usually really good. So for the most part,
I realized today I like a lot of her track 2s.
I like a lot of her track 4s and 5s and 6s. I think those 3. So like it's perfect because they all surround each other. But I'm very excited. I'm also excited for...
I can't wait to hear the Black Dog.
I Can Do It With a Broken Heart. I'm pretty excited for.
I don't know if I am. I think that song's gonna wreck me.
But Daddy, I Love Him, I think, because that's the longest one, so that's intriguing. Oh, I don't know. I'm just so excited. So, final thoughts and predictions. Anything else you want to say before listen?
I'm gonna have a drink and a box of tissues ready. That's all I know.
I'm so excited, but also really nervous. I'm so nervous.
I'm mad I can't call out sick on Friday. Oh, dang it. Selena, you go in for work for me.
Yeah, I'm excited to see, like I said earlier, I'm excited to see what music videos and to see if she has any extra surprises like she did for Midnights later that night or something.
Same.
I'm excited to see that. I really want to see if she has anything up her sleeves because she usually does.
Yep.
Yeah. I can't believe it. Our next episode is going to be our reaction episode.
It's so far.
Oh my god. So definitely come back for that.
Yes.
You will not want to miss it.
Make sure you listen to the album first.
Yeah, listen to the album. Reach out to us in the Discord or on social media and let us know what you think. Let us know your thoughts. Tell us your favorite track and your least favorite track and all that kind of stuff. Our Discord is open for you to just hang out in and be social and interact. And so
we don't bite.
Yeah, we don't bite. So feel free to do that. Hang out in our Discord. We will be listening to the album. I'm so nervous, but excited. I still can't believe it's here already.
No, I'm so excited, but I'm like, where is the time going?
Yeah. Also, let us know if you have anything else you would like to know about the album when we do our episode. Definitely let us know if you have any other questions for us about the album. Oh yeah, someone wanted to know, this was for last week, but it was after we'd already recorded. Someone wanted to know what our ranking was for Midnights before TPD comes out.
I've said it's my favorite album. Reputation and Midnights are pretty neck and neck for number one for me. So that's where it is for me.
Yeah, Midnights is pretty high up there for me, but I'm not sure exactly where it is because Midnights, Reputation, and Folklore are all really close. They're really high up there, all those. I don't know, after TTBD comes out, I like I said in the other episode about this, I have a really good feeling about it, and I feel like it's gonna be my favorite, but who knows? Maybe it will totally let me down and I'll be really sad and disappointed.
No, I don't want to think about that.
And then I won't be a Swiftie anymore. No, I'm just kidding.
We will
that
drag
won't that will not make me not be a Swiftie
Rep
anymore.
TV will come out and then you'll be back.
Yeah, no. I will still be a Swiftie. I'm sure I will love it. If I love it as much as some others, that is a question that needs to be answered on Friday, but I'm sure I'm going to love it at least somewhat. All right, so definitely join our Discord and come back next week and let us know your thoughts and questions.
Bye.
All